40 days without.
Shocking news had emerged of an American woman who was chained to a tree and found deep inside a forest area in Maharashtra.
Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. Today's case is still a mystery and an ongoing investigation. Lalita Kayi is a 50-year-old American woman found chained to a tree in a forest in Maharashtra, India on July 27, 2024. She claimed her husband, Satish, tied her up and left her to die without food or water, starting an attempted murder investigation. However, inconsistencies emerged as police found no clear evidence linking Satish to the scene, and doctors noted Lalita's severe psychiatric issues, including hallucinations. While police are still investigating her movements and connections, theories range from domestic violence to self-inflicted harm due to mental health struggles, leaving the case filled in mystery. The day of the discovery. On July 27, 2024, a quiet and routine day for a shepherd tending his cattle in the dense forests of Sonurli village, Maharashtra, India, took a dramatic turn. Sonurli, located in the Sindhudurg district, is a remote village about 450 kilometers south of Mumbai, known for its dense forests and hilly terrain. The shepherd, whose name has not been disclosed in reports, had led his cattle to graze in a patch of forest near the side of a mountain. The weather had been challenging in the area due to recent heavy rains, making the forest damp and muddy, but the shepherd continued with his daily routine. As he guided his cattle through the forest, the shepherd suddenly heard loud, distressing cries echoing from deeper within the woods. The cries were unlike anything he had heard before, urgent, human, and filled with fear. Alarmed, he began following the sound, climbing through the thick vegetation and uneven terrain. After a short but tense search, he stumbled upon a shocking sight. A woman, later identified as 50-year-old Lalita Kayi, chained to a tree. An iron chain was fastened tightly around one of her legs, securing her to the tree, leaving her unable to move beyond a small radius. The shepherd described her cries as animal-like, a desperate attempt to be heard and rescued. Lalita appeared emaciated, her frail body draped in tattered, loose-fitting clothing. Her hair was disheveled, her skin pale, and her overall appearance suggested that she had been without proper food or water for several days. She seemed too weak to stand or even sit upright against the tree. Her distress was evident as she continued to scream, attracting the attention of the shepherd and, eventually, others. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the shepherd ran back to the village to seek help, calling on other villagers to assist him in alerting the authorities. Shortly after, the local police arrived at the scene. Led by officers from the Sindhudurg district, they assessed the situation and determined that the woman needed immediate medical attention. Using a saw or similar tool, they cut through the iron chain to free her. Upon inspecting the immediate surroundings, the officers found several items in Lalita's possession. These included a photocopy of her U.S. passport, which confirmed her identity as an American citizen, and an Aadhaar card, a unique Indian identification document that listed her address as being in Tamil Nadu, a state in southern India. Additionally, she had a mobile phone, a tablet, and approximately 31,000 rupees in cash, equivalent to $370. These items suggested that she had been living in India for some time, and that theft was unlikely to be a motive for her ordeal. After freeing her, the police carefully transported Lalita to a nearby hospital in Sindhudurg for initial medical treatment. Her condition was very bad. She was severely dehydrated, malnourished, and mentally disoriented. Doctors worked quickly to stabilize her, providing her with fluids and addressing the wounds on her leg caused by the chain. Realizing that her condition required more specialized care, the medical team decided to transfer her to the Goa Medical College for advanced treatment. Goa, a neighboring state known for its well-equipped medical facilities, was deemed the best place for her to recover. At the Goa Medical College, doctors reported that Lalita suffered from psychiatric issues, but was medically stable and out of immediate danger. While undergoing treatment, Lalita was too weak to speak and could only communicate by writing short notes on a pad. In one of her written statements to the police, she made a startling claim. She alleged that her husband, whom she referred to as Satish, had tied her to the tree and left her there to die. She further stated that she had been without food or water for 40 days, an assertion that raised skepticism among the authorities, as survival under such conditions seemed highly improbable.
When he died me in the forest, you will
Which country is it? Write your address.
This is the transcript of her written message to the police. Injection for extreme psychosis, which caused a severely locked jaw and inability to drink any water. Need intravenous food. 40 days without food and water. Husband tied me to a tree in the forest and said I would die there. Based on her statement, the police registered a case of attempted murder against Satish under India's criminal code, specifically citing charges of endangering life, wrongful confinement, and intent to kill. Despite Lalita's claims, the police were faced with numerous unanswered questions. How long had she been in the forest? What events led her to be chained to a tree in such a remote area? And where was her husband? To answer these questions, the authorities launched a full-scale investigation. Teams were dispatched to Tamil Nadu to trace Satish and gather more information about Lalita's past and her recent activities. They also began examining her mobile phone and tablet for potential clues. The discovery of Lalita Kayi Kumar was not just shocking, but also deeply puzzling, leaving the police with a complex case to unravel. The rescue operation marked the beginning of an investigation that would take them across multiple states and into Lalita's mysterious life in India. The investigation. After rescuing Lalita Kayi Kumar on July 27, 2024, the Maharashtra police initiated a thorough investigation to unravel the circumstances that led her to end up tied up in a forest for 40 days. Lalita, a 50-year-old American woman, had been found chained to a tree in the remote forests of Sindhudurg district, Maharashtra, emaciated and claiming her husband had abandoned her to die. Although her initial statement pointed to an attempted murder, several inconsistencies and unanswered questions prompted a more extensive inquiry. Initial steps in the investigation. The first step was to confirm Lalita's identity and validate her claims. Police officers retrieved several documents from her at the scene, including a photocopy of her U.S. passport, an Aadhaar card listing a Tamil Nadu address, a mobile phone, a tablet, and 31,000 rupees in cash. Her passport indicated that she was an American citizen who had been residing in India for at least a decade. The Aadhaar card tied her to Tamil Nadu, raising questions about her connection to that state. These items were handed over for forensic examination to check for any hidden clues about her recent whereabouts or communications. Investigating the husband's role. Lalita's written statement alleged that her husband, whom she referred to as Satish, had tied her to the tree and abandoned her in the forest to die.
You're without food for 40 days.
Condition bed. Husband tied to tree.
When he died me in the forest, you will die.
Husband.
Full address.
Which country is it? Write your address.
Based on her claim, the police filed charges of attempted murder, wrongful confinement, and endangering life under India's Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, BNS. However, they faced immediate challenges in locating Satish. A team of officers was dispatched to Tamil Nadu, where her Aadhaar card address was registered, to investigate his whereabouts. The police also explored leads suggesting that Lalita had stayed in Goa shortly before her discovery, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Skepticism about Lalita's claims. While her accusations were serious, police began questioning the plausibility of Lalita's story. She claimed she'd survived 40 days without food or water, an assertion that medical experts found highly unlikely. Human survival without water is typically limited to a few days, raising doubts about the timeline she provided. Moreover, the condition of the chain and the lack of clear evidence at the scene led investigators to suspect that some details of her account might have been exaggerated or fabricated. Focus on Lalita's mental health. Doctors at Goa Medical College reported that Lalita exhibited signs of severe psychiatric issues, including hallucinations and paranoia. This prompted the police to consider the possibility that her claims might have been influenced by her mental state. Lalita communicated primarily through written notes, further complicating the process of obtaining a coherent and reliable statement. Despite her mental health challenges, the police continued to pursue every lead, mindful of the potential for both foul play and self-inflicted harm. Tracing Lalita's movements. The police aimed to map Lalita's recent movements leading up to her discovery. Reports suggested she had stayed in a hotel in Goa for 2 days before traveling to Mumbai. Investigators reviewed hotel records, interviewed staff, and analyzed her mobile phone and tablet for any communication logs that might provide clues. These devices were sent for technical analysis to determine if Lalita had contacted her husband or anyone else who might be connected to her situation. International coordination. Given Lalita's U.S. citizenship, the investigation also involved coordination with the U.S. Embassy in India. While the embassy declined to comment publicly due to privacy laws, it monitored the case closely. Indian authorities kept the embassy informed of their findings, and there were reports that diplomatic pressure was being applied to expedite the investigation. Unanswered questions and next steps. As of now, many questions remain unanswered. The police have yet to determine how long Lalita was tied to the tree, the exact circumstances that led her to the forest, and whether Satish or any other individuals were involved in her alleged abandonment. Teams continue to search for Satish in Tamil Nadu and other possible locations, while investigators analyze electronic evidence and interview anyone who may have interacted with Lalita in recent months. The investigation remains ongoing, with authorities exploring all angles, including the possibility that Lalita's mental health issues played a significant role in her fate. Each piece of evidence and testimony brings them closer to understanding the truth behind this bizarre and troubling case. The search for Satish. Police efforts to locate Satish. After Lalita accused her husband, Satish, of chaining her to a tree and abandoning her, the police prioritized tracking him down. A case of attempted murder and wrongful confinement had already been registered under India's criminal code. However, locating Satish proved challenging. Lalita's Aadhaar card listed an address in Tamil Nadu, and police sent teams to this state, as well as to Maharashtra and Goa to gather leads. Initial inquiries indicated that Lalita and Satish might have had a quarrel before she was allegedly left in the forest. Police interviewed people in Tamil Nadu who may have known the couple and checked for Satish's presence in areas Lalita had reportedly visited, such as Goa and Mumbai. Challenges in the investigation. Despite their efforts, as of the latest updates, Satish had not been located or arrested. This raised questions about the veracity of Lalita's claims. Without his testimony or further evidence, the police faced difficulties in confirming whether he had actually been involved in her alleged abandonment, or whether her statements were influenced by her psychiatric condition. Electronic evidence and hotel records. The investigation also relied heavily on the analysis of Lalita's mobile phone and tablet, which were recovered at the scene. Police hoped to uncover communication logs, messages, or location data that might lead them to Satish, or provide clarity on her movements before she was found. Investigators reviewed hotel records from her reported stay in Goa and checked surveillance footage from areas where she had recently been. This electronic and documentary evidence was crucial in reconstructing the timeline and establishing any link between Lalita and her alleged husband. Update. As of now, no reports confirm that Satish has been arrested or located. Police are still actively searching for him, and his absence leaves a significant gap in the case. Without corroborating evidence or his side of the story, investigators are cautious about fully accepting Lalita's account. The lack of physical evidence tying Satish to the scene and the inconsistencies in her statements further complicate the case. The police are expected to take the following steps. First, locate and interview Satish. Finding him remains critical to either substantiating or disproving Lalita's allegations. Secondly, forensic analysis. Continued analysis of her electronic devices and any physical evidence found at the scene. Third, mental health evaluation. Further assessments of Lalita's mental state to determine how much her condition may have influenced her claims. Fourth, witness testimonies. Gathering testimonies from anyone who interacted with Lalita or Satish in the months leading up to the incident. Theories. The case of Lalita Kayi Kumar, a 50-year-old American woman found chained to a tree in a forest in Maharashtra, India, is surrounded by questions and theories that make the investigation both perplexing and multifaceted. Lalita's initial claim was that her husband, identified as Satish, chained her and abandoned her without food or water. This statement led to police registering a case of attempted murder, but as the investigation progressed, several inconsistencies and unexplained elements emerged, opening the door to a range of theories about what might have happened. One plausible theory is that Lalita's account is partially true and that her husband played a role in her ordeal. Supporters of this theory point to her note written at the hospital, where she accused her husband of tying her to the tree. Police confirmed that she had an Aadhaar card listing a Tamil Nadu address, suggesting a connection to the state where Satish reportedly resides. It is possible that a domestic dispute escalated into violence, resulting in Lalita being abandoned in the forest. This theory hinges on the assumption that Satish has either fled to avoid arrest or is deliberately concealing his involvement. Police are actively pursuing this angle, but the lack of physical evidence, such as fingerprints or eyewitness accounts tying Satish to the scene, weakens this theory. Another possibility is that Lalita's claims were influenced by her mental health. Doctors treating her at Goa Medical College reported signs of psychiatric issues, including hallucinations. This raises the question of whether her account of the events might be distorted or entirely fabricated due to her condition. Lalita's claim of surviving 40 days without food or water has already been deemed implausible by medical experts, further casting doubt on her version of events. If this theory holds, it is possible that Lalita wandered into the forest voluntarily, driven by hallucinations or stress, and later constructed a narrative blaming her husband to explain her predicament. A third theory revolves around the idea of a staged or self-inflicted situation. Lalita was found with a mobile phone, tablet, and 31,000 rupees in cash, unusual items for someone supposedly abandoned to die. Police suspect she may have chained herself to the tree during a severe mental health episode, possibly as an expression of despair over her expired visa and financial troubles. The presence of personal belongings and the lack of signs of a struggle at the scene lend credence to this possibility. Furthermore, the fact that she had stayed in a hotel in Goa shortly before her discovery suggests a level of planning inconsistent with being abducted and abandoned. Finally, some speculate that there may be an undisclosed third party involved, either helping or harming Lalita before she was found. This theory is harder to substantiate, but cannot be ruled out entirely until more evidence emerges. Was Lalita manipulated, threatened, or assisted by someone she trusted? The absence of definitive answers keeps this possibility alive. Conclusion. As of today, the case of Lalita Kayi remains unsolved and the investigation is still ongoing. Thank you for watching this video until the end. You're watching Creepy Crimes, and I will see you soon for the next video. Stay safe.